Well, I'm going to say something else. I tried to use the good and cheap carbon C60 and olive oil on topically, and I actually had this. It was on my finger. You can kind of see it slightly right on the edge right here. Maybe on the knuckle, there's a slight little, I don't know, spot. Hardly nothing now. This was pretty damn bad. This one was bad. You can see a little line right there. Part of that's because, I work on cars, it gets dirty, but it's nowhere near like what it was. This whole thing, it was kind of like scaly skin, like a big callus. I don't know what the hell, why it was like that. It's been like that for a couple years. And again, I put it on my nail, which wasn't healing up. You could see the pink coming in. And the blackness of where the, what do you call that? The coagulated blood was, whatever the hell it was. That's all clearing up. And I actually had a problem with a couple of my toes. One of them was bothering me for I don't know, probably more than 10 years. I put the carbon C60 on it, and I started doing this on it, that right there. And it's really 1,000 times better. So, but I want to say that it wasn't like I didn't do anything to try to fix this stuff. Before I was using the coconut oil. I used the DMSO with aloe vera mixed in it. The hyaluronic acid, which is another very powerful healer. It's actually some of this is actually in that. And aloe vera. Sometimes I put the aloe vera gel on there, and then I put the DMSO with aloe vera over it, and then the coconut oil, and it helped very, very slightly. But what's been working like freaking crazy is this stuff. It's one of the things that's making me it's an indication to me that when I'm taking it internally, even though I'm not being able to tell what it's doing for me, because I take a lot of vitamins. I take Nature's Way whole food vitamins. Instead of taking 3 a day, I take 4 a day. I take the trace minerals, which has the magnesium, the iron, and all this type of stuff, selenium, which has 72 different trace minerals. I often take higher doses of vitamin D with K2 and magnesium. I don't know, there's a lot of different things I'm taking. CoQ10 and cinnamon. So, it's probably because I take so many, and also 20,000 or more units of vitamin C a day, which is a very powerful healer and antioxidant. So when you're taking all that stuff and you add another powerful antioxidant and detox agent to that, that's probably why I don't feel that much different. But obviously, when you see visible results topically, like this nail was not healing up, man. This was getting, now it is. Now you can see where it's growing in there. I mean, you can see probably, I don't know, 20% of the nail came in where it's good, This was messed up, man. It's like, and I had that on one of my toes, and now I wear steel toe boots, most of the time. And one of my other toes was like that for a long time, probably 15 years. But that's why I used to work out an elliptical in a gym, because I was having problems running for a period of miles because that one toe would bother me. It was the middle toe of my right foot. Now it's not bothering me. So that's from using this topically. But then I started I had this issue. And I don't know where this came from, this scaly, hard callous skin. It's almost all gone. It might have been from working with chemicals that I'm always working with. I use starting fluid to clean car parts with, or sometimes I use starting fluid to clean off an area where I'm going to paint because it chemically cleans it. And I get it on my hands, right? And maybe it caused it to do something. I don't know what the hell it was, but you could see the slight little line right there, and a little thing right there. But man, this just got a gazillion times better real quick just from that stuff. So what I'm thinking is, when people a lot of times women buy these things for, this actually is a powerful healing agent topically. It's not just a butane cream. It's hyaluronic acid. But this stuff is probably your most powerful skin lotion going. And being that it's like $22 each bottle, and you don't need that much of it because you can spread it around pretty thin, and it still works. And that's $22 delivered. I mean, you can't beat it. This is actually this is one side of the bottle. This is the opposite side. And they come with these little caps. You take this cap off and you put this cap on, and you can open it up. See? But this stuff, man, this stuff is some weird stuff, man. I don't understand why it works so damn good. That's what's crazy. And it makes me wonder, because I'm going to tell you something here. If I got this right here. Oh. Now, I don't have that product anymore, but there was a product, I remember, that had 50% DMSO, and it had aloe vera, comfy flowers, arnica montana, and I don't know, some concoction of herbs. And you can't get it anymore. It was herbalremedies.com. It was a Yahoo retailer. You can't buy it anymore. I remember, not exactly related to this, but just an example. That stuff worked so freaking good if you had some kind of sore joints or pain. The DMSO would go right down to the bone, but it had a concoction of mixture of various herbs. I know some of them were aloe vera, comfy leaves or comfy flowers, arnica montana, and maybe there was a little coconut oil in there, but there's a bunch of stuff that was in there, and that stuff worked like crazy. And it was only $6.95 for 4 ounces, and I can't buy it anymore. They're not selling it anymore. It was like a vendor that made it themselves. I'm a little fearful that when the word gets out that this stuff works so good, it's going to replace more products out there that are being sold through the pharmaceutical companies that they're not going to sell anything. I mean, if this thing works to heal up, because I tried getting rid of this scaly, this was kind of like, because it would crack sometimes and it would bleed, if it was really dry out. I was trying to fix this with topically for a long period of time. I was even breaking open vitamin D capsules and vitamin E capsules. I couldn't get this to heal up. I just started doing this, not that much, not even every day. It healed up dramatically. It's not quite all there, but I haven't actually been applying this every day. I'm assuming that it's going to totally heal it up, just like it's been doing all these other issues. And I'm assuming that internally it's working like crazy too. See, it's like I got to see it. It's difficult to say. Like I've been saying on the other video about internally. I'm not gonna BS you and tell you, oh, I feel great because I've been taking this DMSO or whatever. And this, it's good and cheap carbon. See, I can't tell the difference. I was able to tell the difference almost right away when I took a whole bunch of activated charcoal. Because probably it neutralized all these toxins that are slowing you down. That I noticed. I also noticed when I started doing the Power Zapper for 15 hours a day, I got an energy boost. It was not subjective. This I can't tell. But then again, maybe I need to take a bottle of it a day or something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to take that much of it, but I did note that topically this junk works like a miracle. And I'm assuming that a lot of these testimonies about people's wrinkles going away and all this garbage, probably true. So it's going to actually put out of business a lot of beauty creams, things that fix issues with skin, and I don't know. I heard about age spots going away with this stuff, putting it on. I don't have any age spots, but say you had age spots. I heard of them going away. I believe it, though. I believe it now. And again, a couple of my cats that were messed up, they got fixed up really good with this stuff. But this is another thing. This was really freaking screwed up. There was like a giant scaly callus on there, and it would be all like, it was just messed up. It was, sometimes this would all crack and all this garbage. It was bad news, man. It kind of bothered me sometimes. I wouldn't bitch about it, but I was trying to fix it with coconut oil, this DMSO with aloe vera, more aloe vera on there. I figured that's a healer, right? I was trying hyaluronic acid. I tried this carbon C60 and olive oil. And that's working like crazy. I haven't even done it that much, but it's like everything else. It's working. Like I said, I got this. One of my toes was like this. It's all pink now. It's not the big one. It's all fixed. 100% fixed. It's not like that at all. That's all fixed. And the other one that was messed up for probably 15 years, that don't bother me when I'm walking around all day. It used to bother me, at the end of the day. Usually not in the morning, but at the end of the day it would bother me. And that's why I was actually buying pairs of boots that were just a size too big because of that. Now, I don't really need to do that. This junk is pretty, I'm scared that you're going to, because when this stuff came out, although this is different it's a much different use than olive oil and carbon C60. When this was discovered that in 1960 that it could really do a lot for like arthritis and joint pain, and then they start finding all these other uses for it, and it's got really popular in the sports medicine world. They made it illegal for a while. Now it's legal, but you only see it sold as a solvent. You can't go into Walgreens and get this stuff. And you got to be careful with this junk, because this stuff actually, if you have some motor oil on your hand, this stuff will cause the motor oil to absorb into your bloodstream, because this actually penetrates down into the bloodstream. Not the case with this stuff. And I'm not sure if you could take DMSO and mix it with good and cheap carbon C60, I don't know. I have no idea. I know some people have been thinking about that. I have no idea. I'm kind of just playing it safe, and using it without anything else. But this junk, this was another thing that was a big problem. That was all cracking and stuff. It's like, we fixed it, man. You could still see a line there, but it was like bad. And I haven't even used that much. It's going away, just like everything else. I'm assuming, like I said, I think internally, I think the junk is working. It's just that I can't personally tell. I'm not going to freaking tell you, I feel like I'm jumping around doing cartwheels because I'm taking this stuff, and because I don't trust. And like me, I'm actually everything I tell you on this health stuff. I'm going to tell you honestly. Like I was doing a lot with the spooky stuff before, with the spooky Brave machine. The thing that really works on that thing, that's really, really super strong, is the plasma, if you know the right frequency. I'll be quite honest, the remote, I'm not too keen on that, because I really can't tell much. I noticed a couple things, but I'm not 100% sure how strong that is. But the plasma works really good. So I'm trying to be very honest, like what I say. It's like I'm only one person. It's not like I'm testing dozens of people or hundreds of people or thousands of people in this major test. And I try to be as honest as possible, and also dovetail in what I find out with what other people say. But a lot of times what I've been finding out, and that we use a lot of common sense, is you want to eliminate that placebo effect. In other words, if somebody takes this, or maybe somebody takes a bottle like this, but it doesn't have any carbon C60 in it, and somebody thinks it's going to help them, they will feel better, right? Well, what I've been noticing, though, and also not just my own, with the two cats that I had that I tried it on, but also other people's animals like dogs and cats, when they gave them the carbon C60 and olive oil, they did in fact get a lot better, and they had a lot more energy, and their issues were resolved. No placebo effect with an animal. So that was a major, eye-opener to me, that the stuff really does work like crazy, right? So, but I'm a little bit afraid. I'm ordered 10 more bottles of it, even though I got 9.5 bottles already here. I ordered 10 more bottles of it because I'm afraid that, it's going to really cut into the globally. Pharmaceutical sales, I believe it's this was over a year ago. They were selling $1.4 trillion worth of pharmaceutical trillion globally, pharmaceuticals. And that's not including beauty creams or anything like that, or cosmetics or anything like that, whereby, you're trying to get rid of wrinkles or fix skin issues or whatever. It's not including that. So, if this cuts into that, and the price of this stuff is getting cheaper as there's more competition because there's more people producing it, the money powers are, right? Which has always been my whole beef about, when I talk about the South, because I know why they're disparaged all the time. The money powers don't like them, I'm very much, attuned to how that money garbage works. So I'm a little fearful of, what could possibly happen in the future if, say you got 10 million people using this stuff, and then 10 million people tell 20 million people, goodbye pharmaceutical, right? Well, before that happens, you're going to pay off some lawmakers and advertisers, and YouTube will probably not allow me to say this on there. I don't even know, man. Hey, wish they would. I mean, right now it's legal for me to say this, but it's just my testimony. But, I'm telling you, man, I'm not freaking BSing around when I'm telling you some stuff. I heard a lot of too good to be true things about carbon C60 and olive oil, but, I don't think it's going to double your lifespan. The rats got 93% more life. But you never know. Maybe that in combination of other things might give you decades more, for all I know. In good health, too, besides that, being vibrant. So, anyway, that's my latest testimony. The topical stuff, the topical results I see, I can't, it's like internally, what am I going to do? Go around with a little microscope and examine my cells or something? The topical results I'm seeing, and I know that when I try to resolve this issue that's been on there for a few years with the big callus and all this broken skin and getting red and cracked, I tried all these different things, including special vitamins topically. It wouldn't go away. This stuff, not even using it that much, it's working like crazy. So that's another thing. So I think this stuff, I don't know. I wish I had the money to stockpile like 55-gallon drums of the junk. But because I got a feeling they're gonna, I'll tell you this. I'm going on here long, but you know what happened with, why they had alcohol prohibition? I mean, it's unrelated to this in some ways, but in a way it isn't. You know why they had alcohol prohibition? It was because John D. Rockefeller, I said this on other videos, wanted to have all the sale of gasoline going to the Model T car from his Standard Oil, right? And the farmers were a big competition for Standard Oil's product of gasoline because the farmers produced alcohol, and alcohol burned extremely clean. It was cheaper. The engines stayed cleaner. The oil in the Model T Ford stayed cleaner. Therefore, the engines lasted much longer. The exhaust out of the Model T smelled nice and clean because it was burning alcohol. And you could buy it anywhere because if you're driving out in the countryside, the farmers had the alcohol. And it was the preferred fuel for the Model T Ford. So Henry Ford gave $4 million to the women who were trying to prevent the sale and manufacture of alcohol due to alcohol breaking up families and causing violence in the home and domestic violence and all this type of stuff. And he got the manufacture and sale and distribution of alcohol to be, deemed illegal with Prohibition in 1920. Had nothing to do with the surface reason. The real reason was that, he was he wanted to stop the competition for his product. So you might see something, if they could figure out a way, to stop this, and once, because I think it's going to get very big, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. But be rebels and buy the stuff, because, to me right now, I know some people have criticized this brand, but I don't think this brand is screwed up. I think this brand is good. Some people have criticized it, but most people have given it good reviews. I think it's good. I think it's, I'd rather pay $22 a bottle. It's got 80 milligrams of carbon C60 in here, 99.95% pure. And they say they're making it to the exact specifications as the original. So what's wrong with that? From best I know, this is what I've been buying. So anyway, over and out. And there's Little Feather back with her food again. Figured I'd throw that at the end of this video. Been getting lots of that stuff from Chewy. Right, girl? Yum, 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 yum. Sweetie pie.